Welcome to STA2023 Elementary Statistics Online. Throughout this orientation, I'll be showing you how to navigate this course as well as how to access My Stat Lab. Before you leave this orientation, make sure that you read the syllabus that's posted right above the video, and also the orientation quiz that is posted below this video. This orientation quiz is required to be completed in the first week, or unfortunately you'll be withdrawn from the course. So to start off, let's talk about going to the home page. At any point in time, no matter where you are in the course, if you click on Home in the upper left, it will bring you to the home page. On your screen, this might look slightly different because I'm in the instructor view, but the student view should be fairly similar. So the start here is how you got to the orientation, but if you look down on this home page, you can access most of the features of the course. If you scroll down a little bit further, you see weekly lessons. These weekly lessons are like the lessons you would have if this was a face-to-face course. So for example, if you click on, let's say, week 2, these are the lessons associated with what you should be learning in week 2. So for example, in week 2, you should watch the lessons, read this section of the e-text, do the homework, work on a project, and post an extra credit. Anything with an A+ next to it are items for a grade, and while most things in this class are due at the end of the semester, I recommend that you work on them as soon as they are assigned, in the weeks that they are assigned. The exceptions to this are the midterm and the final exam, as well as the orientation quiz. Those must be taken on certain dates, so make sure you keep up to date with those dates. And those dates are listed in the syllabus, and if you click on the syllabus over here on the left, you can see those dates, the deadlines to take those as well. But again, look at your actual syllabus because those will give the date ranges that you're allowed to take the exam. All right, going back to the home page and going back to the weekly lessons, each weekly lesson has some videos. And in these videos, it's essentially like a PowerPoint lecture that I'm reading over and showing you some worked out examples as well. Most of these videos are closed captioned. Some of the closed captioning needs a little bit of editing, but I am currently working on that. Okay, going back to some features of what's called Canvas, our learning management system. If you click in the upper right, there's this inbox feature. This inbox feature is a way to contact your instructor. So you can contact me at any time by clicking on this new message feature, selecting your course, and selecting instructor. So teachers. And then of course type a descriptive subject and your descriptive message and click send. This will send an email to my email box. So alternatively, you can email me directly at my college email. Going back to the course, so again on the home page, here's access to a whole bunch of things that you will be doing throughout the course, the projects, some extra credits, the practice midterm and practice final. Those are also included in the weekly lessons. At the very bottom, there's some useful tools. The first useful tool is Microsoft Office 365, which is a free download for students. Throughout the course, I use Microsoft Excel. Though that's optional, you can use another statistical software package if you like, but you can get that for free, which is a pretty cool deal. There's also some TI-8384 calculators, which is the calculator I recommend you use in the class, though it is not required. Any scientific calculator is acceptable. As far as technical assistance, I'm a math instructor, I'm not a tech expert. So here are some ways you can get technical assistance. Now, if you go back to here, if you have any issues with My Stat Lab, you can click the My Stat Lab Technical Assistance, or alternatively, if you click on My Lab and Mastering, which is just another name for My Stat Lab, and again, yours will look a little bit different in the student view. At the very bottom, it says Click to View Support Tools, and if you click that, let me scroll down a little bit. Oops. Okay, there we go. Let me scroll down a little bit. you can see the student help and also technical support for students and instructors. Okay, so let me show you what this looks like in student view. Okay, so this is essentially what your course will look like in student view. To register in My Stat Lab, click on My Lab and Mastering. Then click on My Stat Lab Course Home. It will bring you to a screen, essentially a privacy statement, and I'm sure you'll all read that very carefully. And then click I accept. If you already have a Pearson account, so in other words you used My Math Lab or My Econ Lab or something like that before, you'd want to sign in with your Pearson account. Otherwise, you should create one. So I'm just going to do something really quick. Now we can create an account. Alright, at this point you'll be given several options. One of the options is to enter in an access code that you could have purchased at the bookstore or elsewhere. I highly recommend that you don't buy an access code from a third party, other than like the bookstore or a Pearson representative, just because sometimes people sell bogus or expired access codes. Another option is to pay them directly using a credit card or PayPal, or if you're not quite sure if this is the right kind of course for you and you want to try this out before purchasing it, there is an option to get temporary access for 14 days, and then when the 14-day trial period is up, they'll let you know, and then you can opt to pay at that point or not. So if I click get temporary access for 14 days, I'll click yes, and then I'll take a minute. Okay, now I click Go to My Courses, and you do have the option to print your receipt if you want. Okay, so now I'm in the course. There's several options within this course. Most of them I recommend you ignore, to be honest. The homework is the only part that's required for a grade, and so this is the area I'd like you to focus on. And StatCrunch is a free statistical software that is given to you with My Stat Lab, which is actually pretty useful and pretty cool. Alright, going back to the homework, which is the only required component of this, let me just click on some arbitrary assignment. I'll just do week 2. And I do have this organized by week for your convenience, and I'll just click on some homework question. You can start at question 1, or you can start anywhere else if you like. Alright, let me shrink this so you can see it well. Alright, so it's asking us to calculate the mean, median, and mode of the following data. So let's say I'm not quite sure how to do this. If I click Help Me Solve This, it gives me some formulas to work with and a step-by-step guide on how to do this. And I can go through the step-to-step guide, but let's say I get it at this point. I can close it up and then type in a number. Okay, so I'm going to type in 15 because that's the sample average. And don't worry, I did use a calculator for this. I did not do it in my head. One thing I'd like you to notice, though, is that these numbers changed after I used the Help Me Solve This. So after you use the Help Me Solve This, it walks you through the current example, but then generates a new example for you to work on a brand new, fresh problem that's very similar. So then I can click Check Answer, and it will bring me to the next part of the question. And then I can find the median, etc. If you notice here, the problem's marked incorrect because I clicked the Help Me Solve This, but as soon as if I did all these 3 parts to this question and I got those correct, it would change it to a check mark. Other things you can do is you can view an example. You can view the textbook, which will bring you to the textbook to approximately the point that covers this. Or you can click the Ask My Instructor button. If you click the Ask My Instructor button, it will actually send me an email with this exact question in it, so I know exactly what you're referring to. Okay, so let's you can save this if you like and close it out. And it will save the fact that I got part of the question correct. You see here where it says 0.33 out of 1. So I got some of it correct. And that concludes this orientation. If you have any additional questions, please let me know.